Hi, I'm Luke Danny Blue, and this is part 3 of the series, How to Date a Blank, in which I'm going to basically walk you through how to date the sign of Gemini. And really I'm talking about how do you woo a Gemini? How do you make a Gemini yours? So basically this is just going to be about making astrology work for your love life, some really easy tips. And just so you know, if you are kind of an astrology nerd and you know where, let's say you have a crush on like a Cancer or a Leo and you know their Venus is in Gemini, a lot of this stuff is also going to be true for those people. Not all of it, but a lot of it. But most of this is directed at just like your run-of-the-mill Geminis, people with their suns in Gemini. And I'm going to be covering 3 different areas. The first is what you need to know about Geminis, what you need to demonstrate to win the heart of a Gemini, and I'm also going to give you a freebie Gemini dream date idea. So the first thing there's basically just one thing that you need to know about Geminis, and that is that these people are actually trying to live every possible life at once, which is a little crazy from the perspective of the rest of us, but for Geminis, that's just life. And so as a result of that, there's 4 things. They're hella busy. They're hella unpredictable. They're also really fun. They're super playful. They're really curious. They have a ton of energy. And then this is maybe the most important from the perspective of someone who has a crush on a Gemini. Even if that Gemini likes you back, you are not the only one. Have you ever seen that movie, Her? It's like that sci-fi movie where the guy is in love with basically a computer program as like digital personal assistant. I'm just going to read you a little quote from this movie because it's basically what it's like to date, or at least to have a crush on Gemini. So the robot is called Samantha, the guy's called Theodore. Theodore, are you in love with anyone else? Samantha, what makes you ask that? Theodore, I don't know, are you? Samantha, I've been trying to figure out how to talk about this. Theodore, how many others? Samantha, 641? Theodore, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's insane. That's fucking insane. When did this happen? Samantha, over the last few weeks. So that's basically the kind of what you have to know you're getting into is that these guys, they are really living all these different lives at once. And so at least in the first stages of dating them, you got to be prepared to have some competition. And in order to win their heart, you cannot cramp their style. So here's what you need to demonstrate about yourself to win their heart. You need to give them space for those other lives. Possessiveness is a huge turnoff for Geminis. You also need to be interested in other things besides them. Geminis are super curious and they want to get excited about what you're excited about. And honestly, these guys are kind of undiscriminating. Like, if you're really interested in thumbtacks, a Gemini is going to be like, oh my God, I've never even thought about thumbtacks. So you don't have to like have an impressive interest. You just have to have any interest at all. And then the other thing is these guys like to talk. They also love to ask questions. And so you need to be a good conversationalist. That could mean that what you do is you ask them questions and you just listen to them. They love that. It could also mean that you have a lot of interesting things to say and you like to go back and forth. Either way, the Gemini is going to be happy, but you got to have a conversation to bring. And here's the advice from a real life Gemini. So I pulled some people on my website, seagoatastrology.com, and this is what I got from basically a bunch of Geminis said the same thing. And this is what they said. Ignore me or indulge me. Either way, I'll be perpetually intrigued/frustrated. So if that doesn't sound straight to the point, well, that's Geminis for you. Here's a Gemini dream date. You really want to get a Gemini to fall for you. What you need to do is plan a multi-stage extravaganza with a lot of moving around because you need to help them burn off some energy. Here are great places to do that. Amusement parks, progressive dinners, museums. Also, like, if you can sneak them in somewhere, like, even if it's like just your work after hours, they love backstage passes to interesting places. Likewise, if you've got a friend who works at a robotics lab, or if you know someone who knows a gorilla, just give them a new experience. These guys have done so much exploring that if you can let them experience something they've never experienced before, they're going to be crazy for you. So thanks so much for listening. This is the end of your How to Date a Gemini advice. If you still want to date a Gemini, good luck to you. You are crazy, but so are they, so you'll have a lot of fun. And tune in next time for some advice about how to woo a Cancer.